What's the difference between the number 1 and the word 1? Well, about $272 million and a curse. Here's what I mean. In 2015, Manhattan's financial district was about to receive a new 670-foot, 205-meter tall skyscraper containing 80 luxury apartments overlooking the East River. But as they say, we make plans and God laughs. The fate of the uber-luxurious one Seaport, aiming to sell the 80 apartments at $7 million a pop and offer yacht usage to its tenants, was sealed when the lawsuits came in. To understand how things got so entangled, we need to go back to 2007, when Blue Rock Properties proposed a 52-story skyscraper to adorn the Manhattan skyline. However, because of zoning regulations, the plans fell through. Fortunately, in 2011, K Development bought the 161 Maiden Lane site for $41.17 million, aiming to build a 40-story building instead of the original 52. They named the project Seaport, and it was supposed to contain 175 apartments. Everything was going well, and then for some strange reason, K Development decided to sell this prime piece of real estate to Fortis Property Group in September 2013 for $64 million, pocketing an astonishing $23 million in profits in just 2 years. As Fortis would later discover, the construction site would be cursed. The structural integrity of the building would be jeopardized, the financial problems would run rampant, and the lawsuits would leave One Seaport unfinished to this day. Now, speaking of the name, Fortis wanted to name the building One Seaport Residences when construction began in July 2015. Little did they know, another company, Jack Resnick & Sons, owned the trademark for One Seaport Plaza at 199 Water Street. Jack Resnick & Sons sued Fortis for smashing that like button, just like you should if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, they sued Fortis for trademark infringements. Fortunately, the two companies agreed that Fortis could name its building One Seaport for a limited time. With this problem seemingly solved, Fortis continued its plan to sell the 80 apartments for $270 million and hired Italian contractor firm Pizzarotti to lead the project in 2016. And this is when the financing problems started. Emboldened by their progress, Fortis launched condo sales in April 2016, with the first offer being as low as $1.2 million. In 24 hours, 1 in every 5 apartments was in contract. Real estate brokers bought duplex apartments, believing they would have them by 2018 as Fortis promised. Bank Leumi USA lent Fortis $90 million in June 2016, and in late 2016, Fortis partnered with Hinckley Yachts, offering luxury vessels to condominium owners. However, Fortis overpromised and underdelivered. They had to finalize the first condo sale by the start of 2018, but by June 2018, they still failed to finalize any contracts. Financial problems set in and investments dried up. Now, Fortis was looking at a $272 million pit they couldn't crawl out of. And just when Fortis thought things couldn't get any worse, they did. This is the story The Observer ran after a horrible accident occurred on the construction site at 161 Maiden Lane. 44-year-old Juan Chornillo from Ecuador was working on the 29th floor of One Seaport Residences when he fell from a scaffold to his death in September 2017. The tragic death happened when a crane was moving the scaffold Chornillo was standing on. In the middle of transit, something snapped. The crane stopped, and stuck in the middle, Chornillo released his security harness to unjam the scaffold. Unfortunately, at that moment, the platform jolted, and the 44-year-old construction worker fell to a different scaffold just a few feet off the ground, where he died. SSC High Rise, a subcontractor for general contractor Pizzarotti, faced a major lawsuit. According to the NYC Building Code, it's illegal to move a platform with workers on it. So in July 2018, SSC pleaded guilty to manslaughter. Pizzarotti continued working with SSC until they made another major mistake. Construction was paused in 2018 when a giant concrete bucket hit the 34th floor, lifted the floor's deck, and poured concrete on the street. After firing SSC and hiring RC Structures, things didn't improve. Fortis ran into more financial problems, and Pizzarotti finally discovered why K Development wanted to sell the land. Now, problems with the building's foundations became apparent when Pizzarotti sued Fortis in March 2019. Fortis discovered that the building was leaning 3 inches or 76 millimeters to its north. According to the former general contractor, Fortis didn't use the piling method when constructing the foundation, but used the soil improvement method. In other words, instead of planting vertical piles in the earth, like the rest of the skyscrapers nearby, Fortis decided to use chemicals and other materials to strengthen the soil so they could build the foundation for one seaport. As Pizzarotti put it, the foundation settled unevenly and caused the entire building to become crooked as the building topped out in 2018, which incidentally is the same year Pizzarotti noticed the tilt. According to Fortis, the building's foundation is reliable, and they blame Pizzarotti for their poor management, pointing out their 2 previous lawsuits. A spokesperson for Fortis said, "This lawsuit is patently false from start to finish, and nothing more than simple defamation and a desperate attempt by a failing general contractor to divert attention from the fact it defaulted on yet another New York City project." While we can't know who's to blame, we do know that Pizzarotti had trouble installing the glass curtain wall on the building precisely because of this tilt. In 2019, they warned that if construction continued, the building would have windows that don't open, elevators that don't work, and affect the building's waterproofing system. Now, what happened in the end? Fortis filed a lawsuit against Pizzarotti, and they've been fired from their role as general contractors. Shortly after, Fortis opened talks with Arup Group and WSP Global. Unlike Pizzarotti, these 2 companies said that the 3-inch lean didn't affect the building's structural integrity, and Ray Builders, the new general contractor for Fortis, managed to design a glass curtain while also factoring in the lean. After that, there were no problems. Fortis and Ray Builders worked diligently, and all the investors got their condos along with a white and pink unicorn that flies over rainbows. Well, we all know that real life doesn't work like that. Fortis and Ray Builders had a falling out, and they stopped working on the building completely by July 2020. The following year, Ray Builders packed up their construction equipment and left the site. That's what happens when construction workers don't get their salaries. Fortis blamed Bank Leumi for failing to distribute the loan they promised. Instead of complying, the bank sold the loan in October 2020. In the next 4 months, February 2021, the condo buyers went back on their contract and pulled their investment. Unable to pay their contractors, legal teams and lenders, construction completely stopped, leaving a hollow shell of a building in the middle of Manhattan. Worried about the structural integrity of the building, a state judge appointed Engel Berman Construction to secure the site. As you may know, the building has not been enclosed yet, leaving it exposed to the elements. In 2023, Fortis was facing another lawsuit, this time by their own legal team because they hadn't paid them for legal services they received in the previous years. Meanwhile, New Yorkers are concerned about the safety of such a massive building. If the lean continues, the concrete could snap and cause mayhem in Manhattan. Because of this, they're now looking to remove the glass curtain on the first few floors and make the building safer. Now, according to some leading engineers, the biggest problem about One Seaport is the mysterious foundation. Everyone is talking about the symptoms, but no one is talking about the underlying problem. Right now, they need to figure out whether the skyscraper's foundation is structurally sound before they can even attempt to fix the problem. Now, here's another video mega projects enthusiasts love watching. Bye for now.